Welcome to stage 2, where we go into the scale aspects of this setup. What we've set up so far is to ensure that all the servos move in the correct direction and that the travel is correct, so that when we raise and lower the gear, everything is nicely coordinated and all the surfaces are flush. What we're going to do now is actually change the default values for the timings and add some stagger to create that scale appearance. The default settings, as you can see, are fairly rapid, and for your application you may wish to increase that longer, and that's what we'll do now. So once again we enter the setup routine simply by pressing the button and powering on. Okay, and now we're going to wait until we get 3 long tones. 2. Okay. Oh, and I missed the button. Let me just do it. And all we do here is for doors open, we press for that long. If we want it to take 10 seconds for the gear legs to come down, then you simply press the button for 10 seconds, which must be about that. And for the doors to close, again, you just press it for the respective time that you want it to take. I'll finish the setup routine, and this time you find that the gears move far more slowly. Okay, so we should take about 10 seconds to raise. Now, what you'll notice here is that the doors open at the same time as the gear starts to raise, but they don't close until the gear is fully up. So coming down, the first thing that happens is the doors open fully, and only then do the legs start to move, and now the door will start to close. Now you can adjust that. And from the video it's very difficult to see because of course the legs disappear behind the wood, but you can adjust that up to about 70%. So really you can have it so that the doors start to close as soon as the legs move past. And I'll do that just to show you now. And the way you do that is simply just to hold it down for an equivalent period that you did for the legs to open. So that's 3 long flashes, and we need 3 short buttons. There you go. So I'll hold this down for about 10 seconds now. The maximum the mixer will allow you to do is 70%, so even if you hold this down for 20 seconds, it will still only give you 70% of the time it takes for the gear legs to move, just to ensure it doesn't foul. Okay. So what you'll see now, and I'll just let this finish, is I will actually now raise the gear now. The doors start to open, and already the legs are moving there. As you can see, they can't quite touch. Now, one other function I should point out at this stage: if you take off and you have a very scale-like setting such as this, then if you have an engine failure after takeoff, you don't really want to wait 10 seconds or so for the gear to come down. So automatically, as the gear is raising, it'll raise in a scale-like manner, but if any time whilst the gear is raising you lower it, it'll come down in an emergency fashion in case, as I say, you have an engine failure after takeoff. If you're actually flying and the gear is fully raised, if you just lower it on its own, then it will come down in a scale-like fashion. If you have a dead stick, for example, and you can't afford to wait, then all you need to do is just simply cycle the gear down, up, down, and it will come down in that manner. The final thing that this this mixer will do is to stagger the undercarriage slightly to mimic, for example, the old warbirds, where the undercarriage used to come up in a sort of an asymmetric function. So what we'll do is we'll go to the 4th subroutine now, the 4th long beep, and we can add stagger to the 2nd and 3rd leg servos. So there's 2, and what I'll do is there's 3, and I'll just add about a 3 or 4 second stagger there. So now, when I raise the gear, in just a second, then the third leg servo now should delay by about 4 seconds. So this one you see was moving initially, then this one, and you can see that this gear is nearly up before that one to give you that sort of mimicry. And you can do it with either of the leg servos, and you can do it independently. So now you have a scale undercarriage. It comes down asymmetrically. The doors are all fully sequenced and should fit just about any scale application. If you can think of a scale application that it doesn't, then please let me know and I can reprogram the code.